Hello everyone. Now in today's exercise we are going to be looking at some other intermediate Excel functions like the average if function. We'll be taking a recap on the count if function, very important function, and then one of the most useful functions in Microsoft Excel is the VLOOKUP and the XLOOKUP, basically the lookup functions, very useful functions. We also have the index and match function, which is another function used to look up values in an array. So first of all, let's begin with the average if. Now I already created a drop down list for all the courses in this institute. This is a different table where we have a list of students who took a particular course or who enrolled for a particular course, and then at the end of their course we have their final grade. So first of all, I want to find out the average score uh, gotten in Office Essential or scored in Office Essential. So I'll come over to average if, all right, type that equal to average if. Okay, that's going to give me the list, so I'm going to select that average if. All right, so first thing I need to enter here is the range. All right, so where can I find this particular course, Office Essential? So I'll come over here and highlight the range of the courses, all right, comma. Then next thing is the criteria. All right, this is our criteria, Office Essentials. All right, click on that. And then next thing is the average range. Where can I find this course? Right here under final score, that is the average range. All right, again, the range is the list of courses, the criteria is right here, the course itself, and then the average range is the scores of the students. All right, so I'm going to close the bracket now and run it. This is going to give me the result that the average score in Office Essentials is 66.67. Web development is 78.0, data science 78.0, UI UX design is 77.0, and then app development is 66.5. So that is the average score gotten by the students in each of these courses. Next, we're going to take a recap on the COUNTIF function. To get a detailed lesson on the COUNTIF, you can look at one of my previous videos, one of our previous lessons. I explained this in details, but let's take a quick recap. Now I also have the list of courses right here created with data validation also. Then this time I want to count the number of students who took a particular course. All right, for instance, mobile app development, how many students took this course? So I'll come over here and I'll say equal to count if. All right, select that, count if. This is also very simple. First thing I need to enter is the range. All right, so where can I find the course? App development course is right here, so I'm going to highlight the range, comma, and then secondly is the criteria. All right, this is our criteria, app development. Select that, that is it, close the bracket. So first of all, select the range and then the criteria, then enter. 2 students took app development. If I go over to the beginning, Office Essentials, we had 3 students, web development 2 students, data science 4 students, UI UX design 3 students. All right, so that is how we use the COUNTIF function. Again, the COUNTIF function is also a conditional count function, which is used to count based on multiple criteria. That is covered in one of the previous videos. Now let's look at the lookup functions. Like I said, they are very useful functions in Microsoft Excel, which are used to look up a particular value in a table from a table array. So first of all, my criteria is going to be the list of students. All right, let's say I want to find out the course taken by each student and also the score for that particular student. So first of all, I need to get a list of all the students right here. I'm going to use data validation, so I'll activate that cell, go to data, open data validation, and then set this to list, and then under source I'm going to highlight all the names of the students as my source data and then click OK. That's going to give me a list of all the students who took our courses. Next thing I'm going to do is to look for example, Solomon Isaiah, which course did he take in this institution. This time I'm going to begin with a VLOOKUP. So I'll say equal to VLOOKUP, open that. So the first thing I'm going to select is the lookup value. All right, so our lookup value is going to be the name of the student. Select that, comma. Then the table array is going to be the entire table. So highlight the entire table, comma. And then the column index number. Now this is what the column index number mean. Inside our table array, we have 3 columns in this array. We have column 1 for students, secondly course, and then finally final score. So this is column 1, 2, and 3. So our index number, since what we are looking for is the course taken by the student, the course is inside column 2 in the array. So I'm going to select 2, comma, and then the range lookup. Now we are going to want an exact match, not an approximate match. We want a precise result, so I'm going to type false there and then close the bracket. That is it. So if I hit enter, that is going to tell me that Solomon Isaiah took Office Essentials, Martha Williams took Web Development, Bosse Yusuf learned UI UX design, and so on. And then finally for VLOOKUP, we're going to look up the score for each of the students, their final score. So I'll come over here and I'll say equal to VLOOKUP again. I'll select that, and then the lookup value again will be the name of the student. The table array, like we did before, will be the entire table, comma. The column index number this time is going to be 3. All right, 1, 2, 3 in the array, so that's going to be 3. And then finally range lookup, again we want an exact match, so I'm going to type false there and then close the bracket, and that's it. Once I enter, that's going to give me the score for Bosse Yusuf in UI UX design. All right, so I can now look at Amanda scored 59 in data science. Solomon Isaiah scored of 85 in Office Essentials. Tabitha Paul scored 71 in web development, and so on. So we have other lookup functions like the H lookup. All right, we also have the X lookup, and then we have the index and match function. Okay, index and match, these are all lookup functions used to look up a particular value in a table array.